He loves me.
The past is the past.
It wasn't my fault.
I said no.
But I love him.
My destiny is my destiny. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to have a discussion about some pretty personal things that a lot of people go through, so it's going to be a really nice time for us to kind of talk and converse. Before we get started, can I just have everyone introduce themselves? Tell us a little something, give us your age.
Jalen San Diego, 17 years old.
I'm Jordan Wilson, and I'm 17 years old.
I'm Matt Johnson, and I'm 21 years old.
I'm Justice Banks, and I'm 21 years old.
My name is Meech, and I'm 28.
So for those of you that are willing to disclose, would you mind telling us what age you were when you experienced domestic violence?
16.
17.
14.
I've never experienced domestic violence.
24.
Okay. So our first question, which is going to kind of steer the direction we're going in, has to do with the idea of why don't victims speak out? So there's a lot of different types of abuse when it comes to domestic violence. There's mental and there's physical, as well as a few other types. But can we just kind of facilitate a conversation in regards to that idea of why don't victims speak out?
Fear.
I feel like people, it's like a certain way people will judge them, because I feel like people are not really there for you or not trying to help you out, and they will always try to put the blame on you. So it's kind of hard to actually say how you feel if it's like you don't have the support.
I also think it's because the victim probably won't think that the person whoever that they're telling won't actually believe them, or they don't feel comfortable enough to say it, or they think if they say it that they won't get the support that they need.
I'm going to give a different answer. The reason I feel is because sometimes if you can defend yourself in this situation, it may not be necessary.
So you feel like it makes you feel as though it's okay because you can defend yourself, as opposed to someone who wouldn't be able to? Like, what am I saying?
Yeah, like I wouldn't take away from people who may experience fear or some of the other things discussed, but for someone who can actually defend themselves in those type of situations, they may not find it necessary to be open about the experience.
Right, and then a lot of times people don't even look at it as a situation of domestic violence if they can defend themselves.
I think everyone can defend themselves, but I just think it's the mental part about it. It's like who the person is. Like, some people are just scared to do something. Like, I don't know. It's like fighting is not something like you always wanted to do with somebody. So like, then it's the person that you're supposed to love or care about, and they put your hands on you. You don't want to get into an altercation with them.
You make the situation escalate more.
And then after such a long period of time of abuse, it's kind of like you just lose your, you lose your intent, and you lose everything that you brought into the relationship.
That's actually very true. Like for myself, like I lost a sense of like knowing like did I really want to be with someone that I love just because I love them, or did I just want to like find myself again? That was more so like what it was. I didn't want to fight anymore. Like I didn't want to, watch the person I was with, put ice on their eye anymore because of something that they may have instigated or started with me, or it just became very toxic, and it was better to just let the situation go altogether than to continue.
I think it gets to the point where you feel like you need that person and you can't leave them, so you continue to take the abuse and stuff without questioning or fighting back for what you know is right. But at the time, your mind is just telling you, I need this person is the only person that loves me.
Right, and then even in a physical situation, a lot of times there's a huge mental component. So it's twofold a lot of times. So there's this idea of people who are abusers, a lot of times they have like a mental tactic. They'll isolate you from people around you, make you feel like they're the only person that you can trust. So when these actions begin, they make you feel as though, well, who can you go to because I'm all that you have. And a lot of times we have to look for those signs. I think that once you experience a situation like that, a lot of times you're able to identify it a little quicker in the future. And anyone speak to that idea? Do you have any idea of like the mental? And even if you haven't, experienced it, if you've known someone that's experienced it or been through it with someone as a support system.
So like when I was 14, I dated someone that was like 28 at the time. And you know, it was just, it was more of a mental thing for me because I was so young and I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I think I came out in 7th grade. Then I get back in, yeah, in 7th grade. But at the time, you just think you just shit, because at the time I didn't think I was the cutest thing in the world. So somebody told me that they loved me and wanted to be with me, made me feel like the shit, and I felt like I had somebody on my side and actually understand what was going on. But in reality, they were just taking advantage of me and stuff like that. So it could be mental, because the physical part wasn't that bad, but I want to say it was like the thing I want to do again. But
I think that's another thing, like saying like it's not that bad, it shouldn't happen at all. So when you're saying like you have like a tolerance for it, like, oh, it was just a push. Oh, well, next time it might be a punch, might be a knife, next time it might be something that you can't come back from.
I was going to ask, like, was we only talking about like physical abuse, like, or like sexually like assaulting somebody? Like, is that included in like domestic violence?
Absolutely.
Because I've been I don't want to say like assaulted, but like harassed. I've been sexually harassed before, but like I've never experienced like physical domestic abuse. So like this, I used to work with this person, and like he would make me feel like super uncomfortable, and he was like a supervisor for like at the facility for like I want to say at least 10 plus years. So like, he had a good foot ground in that. So like, but everybody knew that he was a weirdo, but nobody actually did anything about it. And like I felt like since everybody knew that he was doing this stuff, and then if I was to like say something, would people actually do anything about it? So like I would like tell him like, yo, like get away from me, like stop touching me, like leave me alone. Like I would have to like physically like yell, scream, because like it would be times where it would be just the two of us there in the kitchen. So
What kind of effect did that have on you mentally?
mentally, it made me feel like I had no one to protect me, because this is a man. Like men are quote unquote supposed to protect women. So if this man is sexually harassing me, it's just like it kind of make you think like all men are going to be like that.
And can you go a little deeper into the idea of him having like tenure? He's been there longer. Sounds like he has a little bit of power. In
Yeah,
the
so
situation, that dynamic.
he definitely had more power, like in the job, in a sense, over me. But I felt like if I was to actually have somebody do something about it, then that jeopardizes me and him. So like I didn't want to put myself in a spot where I could either be starting something that I didn't really want to start, like open investigate, like then it would have to be like multiple women that he did this to, and it's a whole process. I feel like it shouldn't have to be like that. If someone is saying like, yo, this person abused me, but then it's a big ass controversy because of all like people falsifying stuff, so you never really know if somebody's telling the truth. But then so it just creates a big ass hole for the person that's actually being abused, and like they don't now we and just like we don't know what to do, because it's a whole process. You got to do all this paperwork and everything just to get this person locked behind bars. And what made it even worse, he has a daughter that's like 10, was like 10 or 11 at the time. He would bring her to work and stuff like that. And I'm just like, how could you be harassing women and then you have a daughter? It's just like, I wonder if she is safe at home. Like, it's just so much that go into it.
I think in the workforce, I don't feel like everything's underrated when it comes to sexual harassment and stuff in jobs. So I don't feel like they're really caring much. Like you had to have solid evidence for them to actually
you have
care.
to have solid evidence. Like it would be times he would just come up behind me, just be touching me, like, yeah, how are you? I'm just like, we not cool, like don't be touching me.
Maybe if I didn't dress this way, things would be different for me.